Hi, I'm Yoel, and this is the secret to tighten up your riffs. If you feel like your rhythm playing is not tight enough, you always have to quantize your recordings. You just feel like you're not tight with your drummer and bassist. This is exactly for you. The real secret about how to tighten up these riffs is the way you play with your right hand. So usually the approach of guitarists to play a certain metal riff would be just going by whatever they feel like in terms of ups and downs. And here is where the trick is. The ups and downs have to be synced to the main rhythm. Let me show you an example. So we have this riff here, a 16-note riff, pretty simple, but then how would we play it? I think what a typical beginner guitarist would do is something like this. It's not wrong, but it's also not the best and tightest way to play it. And this is actually a tip that I got from my drummer originally, and I kind of adopted this method and I play it all over my riffs. And when I don't, he reminds me to do it, so thank you. What we're gonna do is we're gonna imagine that all the 16th notes are being played. And what that means is that we're always gonna have this constant movement of up and down with our right hand. Right? And then you're only going to initiate the playing in the notes that you need to play. But what happens is you have this constant motion that keeps the rhythm going, and then you have a really greater sense of the rhythm that's going on. And in my opinion, that makes things way tighter and way smoother. And you'll see the difference when you try to record that. Say goodbye to quantizing. You don't need that anymore. So this is how this riff would sound with this technique. You've probably seen that in the air you can see my hand keeps going in this constant 16th note pattern, but just like initiating the playing where I need to. And that's the whole trick, and you'll see it makes a huge difference. It works in triplets as well. And you know, of course there's some of these riffs where you just want to chug just downs, okay? That's for a different tutorial. The way you can start practicing this thing is by only doing ups and only doing downs and kind of isolating that for a second before you start with the exercises. So I'm going to start with the downstrokes only, and then I'm going to move whenever I want. I'm just going to move to upstrokes, and that's going to be the harder part here. My hand keeps moving up and down, right? Upstrokes. Down. Up. And I can even randomly it's always going, and I'm always ready to play whichever note that comes through me. So here's 5 more exercises for you to practice this concept. So this is slow version for the exercises. This is exercise 2. Exercise 3. Exercise 4. Exercise 5. So what you saw me do now in this fifth exercise is actually play this kind of muted note in between the notes that I was actually going to play, so all the breaks were actually played as well. It's a very cool and very metal thing to do, and also it can help you in the beginning to kind of get this idea. Exercise 1. Exercise 2. Exercise 3. Exercise 4. Exercise 5. This is just an example of how it can turn into a riff with the left hand, but the basic stuff is always there, and you can hear how it chugs and how it makes sense, and it's very groovy, very accurate, and very tight. I'm sure it will do wonders for your playing. And now I just want to show you a real-life example. So this is a riff I wrote for one of my latest songs called Concerto for Guitar and Computer. It's as part of my solo project called Chuesmo, so definitely check it out. And this riff is kind of polyrhythmic. It's on top of a 4/4 rhythm, but it's going all over the place. The 16th notes are shifting, so it has all sorts of patterns. Alright guys, this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you found this useful, feel free to book a lesson with me on Lessonface. It's a one-on-one online lesson, so you could be anywhere in the world, and I can teach you how to play these riffs, how to play tighter rhythm parts, and become a better guitarist.